Thursday, December 2nd. Ermanni and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, or shall I say, Dylan Larkin with us today.
Hey, man.
Love the winged wheel, my friend.
Shout out to my boy Dylan Larkin. Came in, representing Dylan Larkin, the Red Wings, the team that nobody wants to play right now. 10 goals, 11 assists, 21 points in total. Dylan, I see what you guys are doing. I listen to D-Mac. I pay attention to Big D Energy. Appreciate it. Hey, man, this is what we do, man. And you can tell that I'm a fan because it doesn't have the C on it. It has the A. So this is before he became a captain last year mid-season. So I am loyal.
You were not some bandwagon captain
not at all.
Dylan Larkin guy. I mean, you were in from the jump.
And I love it because my number in the NFL was 17. So if you reverse this 71, you got 17.
Look at that. Tom Mazawey can't get nothing past him today.
Oh, all right.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. It's a Thursday. It's a fun day. It's Michigan football coming up this weekend. We got Brandy on. We got the Beerman coming up later. And we got a special guest in studio here in about, 5 minutes or so.
Absolutely.
Go Blue.
The great 98.
Looking forward to that. Big show today, and what a great week it's been here at Woodward Sports. I mean, everything just seems to be rolling here at the network, and a lot of that has to do with the Michigan win, thankfully, right?
Definitely.
So we're all feeling pretty good. But, yeah, big day today. Jim Brandstatter going to join us. He'll be in Indianapolis. Maybe he'll get himself a shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's before the game. I mean, that's really what I want to know.
Stopping at P.F. Chang's over there.
The pregame meal in Indianapolis. If anybody out there is going to Indianapolis, do yourself a favor. If you can get in to St. Elmo's,
keyword, if you
can get into St. Elmo's, please do yourself a favor and go get yourself a shrimp cocktail there.
I'm gonna switch it up real quick. I just want to say something. I'm gonna just real quick get it out the way, man. I really appreciate our fans for rocking with us yesterday. As we were covering the Oxford stuff, like our fans, they stayed with us in the chat. They really heard what we had to say, man. This was a great time. Like Maz, the words that you said, your experience and wanting to cover it. Ryan, you came in yesterday. You said, let's talk about it.
Yep.
Let's cover it. Let's play the Casey. Let's play the Campbell. Let's play the Blashill. Let's play Dylan Larkin, my boy. You know what I'm saying? And let's get back to what we do in the business. I think we did a great job yesterday, and I'm glad I could be a part of what we did for Oxford and that community. It was a really good show yesterday, and I feel good that what we did.
Thanks, Bray.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're talking about that, since you brought it up, I do want to make mention that we are still mourning the loss of the 4 teens on a couple of days ago, earlier this week at Oxford. There is a petition out there to rename Oxford football field as Tate Myre Stadium. So if you can go to change.org and sign the petition, we know this is not going to bring anybody back,
right?
But it's just a small gesture.
Remind people who Tate Myre is.
Tate Myre is the junior football player at Oxford, and all the reports are that he was running towards the gunman and tried to stop the gunman during the school shooting in Oxford. So he was a football player. He took a recruiting visit to Toledo this past weekend, and he was a pretty darn good football player. So there is a petition out there, change.org. Go there now, sign the petition to rename Oxford football field as Tate Myre Stadium. So you brought that up. I wanted to make mention of that.
God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him and all the others who were killed and wounded at Oxford High School. We continue to think about you as well. Forever. There is no easy transition to sports, but that is what we're going to do. Again, Jim Brandstatter will join us coming up in about 20 minutes from now. The final call for him at Michigan Stadium was one of the most iconic sights in Michigan football history. I think you can say that.
Yeah.
That win over Ohio State on Saturday was something that I think anybody that was there and anybody that was watching will remember that game for the ages.
What a way to go out.
That's one of the things we'll talk to Brandy about. Chris Prince, the Beerman from Woodward Bets, is going to join us at 3:30, 3:35, around there. You're definitely going to want to see what Beerman has to say about tonight's Thursday night game. Beerman is 3-0 in his Thursday night picks ever since coming on with us here at Woodward Sports in our show in this 3:30
No Alvin Kamara for the Saints. Cowboys 6.5-point favorites in New Orleans tonight.
That went up in 2 points in 12 hours.
Correct.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens because Taysom Hill has gotten 2 contracts, and he has yet to start an NFL game. So it's going to be interesting to see him start finally for the New Orleans Saints. We showed a highlight yesterday, showed you his athletic ability at BYU. It's going to be interesting to see him under the gun. No Alvin Kamara. What can he do? I think everybody in New Orleans has been waiting for this for 5-6 years now, man. So
is he officially starting tonight?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah. He is officially starting. Now, both offensive tackles are out for New Orleans as well. So I caution anybody, and I'm curious to see what Beerman says about this because Amari Cooper coming back tonight, CeeDee Lamb coming back tonight for the Cowboys, so they're at full strength, coming off a loss. And then, of course, there is a reason, ladies and gentlemen, why Taysom Hill did not start.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he didn't start in lieu of Jameis Winston, and there's a reason why he didn't start in lieu of Trevor Siemian.
There's a reason. But yet he got hurt. But yet he got extended.
Sure.
In the midst of that, he still got extended.
He's been hurt.
Sure. However,
while he was hurt, they re-signed him again, which I don't get it.
Right.
I'll never get it.
They're probably going to get destroyed, if you want to call a spade a spade. If you look at the defense has been a strong suit for the Saints this whole season. That defense led by Demario Williams, like they have been the strong suit. Last week they gave up 37. The week before that they gave up 40. They've given up 47. Matt Ryan had 350 yards passing on him. Tom Brady, who is Tom Brady, a couple weeks ago, he had 4 touchdowns. He had 300+ yards. They have been getting destroyed on defense, and that's supposed to be their saving grace. The fact that they can't do what they're good at, and the offense has been terrible and very inconsistent. I will look for the Cowboys at full strength to blow them out.
You know, not only that, but it's just these short weeks. I love the Thursday night game, but you are not getting very good football on Thursday nights. It's not a good game. But if the Cowboys play their best game tonight, tonight's the night to do it because everybody talks about the Saints' defense. Saints' defense been terrible.
It's been terrible.
I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles put up 40+ out.
And you're right about those Thursday games. Usually, like when I was in the NFL, what we would do is we wouldn't even necessarily put a full game plan in into the opponent that we're playing against on that short week. What you do is you kind of take the game plan that you had the week before and you tweak it just a little bit so that you kind of can fit the new opponent. But you're really running the same plays. You're running the same offense. You're doing the same things you did last week so that it's still fresh, so that you're not going out there and you're not practiced, you're not rehearsed. So you're running the same stuff that you ran last week, and sometimes it doesn't match up because it's different teams, different schemes, different things.
The Michigan Wolverines, guys, we saw this yesterday. The ratings came out for their game against Ohio State. We mentioned it, the highest rated game ever on ABC this year, the highest rated game on Fox when they played Michigan State. And now this Ohio State game, 15.8+ million people watch Michigan-Ohio State. That is the most viewed college football game on Fox ever since Fox began broadcasting college football games back in 2019. It is just incredible, and we talk about this all the time, Braylon. Baseball's better when the Yankees are good. Basketball's better when the Celtics and the Lakers are good. College football is better when Michigan is good. People have been wanting this, and it's happening.
Hey, you know what that means? That means recruits.
Yeah.
Like, that means you can go after the type of recruits that you want now. That means you can go after guys anywhere. You don't have to stick to the pocket that you're recruiting in. You don't have to just go to New Jersey. You don't have to go to these prep schools in New Jersey and Massachusetts and stay in the Michigan area. You can go wherever the hell you want to because everybody saw that Michigan. Everybody saw that brand of football that you put out there. They saw what you did to Ohio State. They saw what you did in the face when nobody thought you had a chance. You not only won the game, you blew those guys out. So I think this popularity that they have in terms of ABC, Fox, and ESPN this year, that does well for recruiting when you want to go to California, you want to go to Texas, you want to go to Atlanta, you want to go to Georgia, you want to go to Cali, you want to go all around the country. You can do that now.
And Braylon, Big Noon Kickoff was their most watched Big Noon Kickoff.
Shout out to Brady Quinn.
Ever. Over 3.3 million viewers. ESPN College Game Day was there as well. That set a record. How about 2.3 million viewers? The final hour of ESPN College Game Day had 3 million viewers. Fox Big Noon Kickoff, 3.3 million.
That's something.
I've been telling you guys for a long time. Now, I know that Fox had the game, but nonetheless, you got upwards of 7 million people watching pregame shows from Michigan and Michigan.
It says a lot.
Excuse
A
me,
lot
from
from the
Michigan and
parking
Ohio
lot.
State. Yeah, right. Yeah, I was in my car in the midst
exactly.
of all
I
the
walked right
people.
by him. I was like, is that Alex Rodriguez up there? I walked right by him.
There is news today as well in college football. Notre Dame has a new coaching hire. They have tabbed Marcus Freeman as their next head coach. Marcus Freeman expected to be the next head coach at Notre Dame. A source close to Bruce Feldman reported the 35-year-old finished his first season
younger than me.
as the team's defensive coordinator. And that's one of the things that Brady Quinn said yesterday, really, was in regards to his age.
Yeah.
To be a CEO, essentially, of the Notre Dame Football Corporation, and that's what Notre Dame football is. It's a corporation.
Yeah.
To be that CEO when you're really just
That's tough.
kind of going out there and you're asking people for money, donations, making sure the boosters are happy, everybody's happy. You let your coordinators do their jobs, and that's it. Speaking of the coordinators, Tommy Rees will stay on as the offensive coordinator. Braylon, before I get to you, can we play Tommy Rees?
I would love it.
Here's what he had to say.
It's on Twitter, but I'm saying, all right? And I just wanted to tell you guys that in person, okay? And I love you guys. I love this place. I believe that we can win a national championship here. And I'm committed to doing everything we can to get to that point. I know it's been a hell of a week for you guys. It's been a hell of a week for a lot of us that are part of this place. But this is where my heart is. My heart's with you guys. I care too much to leave this place. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to win a national championship. And I want to be able to tell you guys in person. I know Twitter and all that happens, but I wanted to be able to get in front of you, tell you guys that, so you guys knew it. All right, now some of you might be happy, some of you might be pissed. I don't know. I guess how you say it. But the most important thing to me was that you guys heard from me up front, and that you guys had confidence in it going forward, okay? I can't tell you guys anything else about what's going on. That's all I can tell you. But I appreciate you guys coming in on short notice. We have work to do this year. We got a lot ahead of us. And for the guys that are coming back, let's go win a national championship here at Notre Dame. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
I can't answer any questions or else I would. All right, guys? But I love you guys. This is where I want to be. And let's go win it all. Cool?
And that is Notre Dame offensive coordinator Tommy Rees speaking to the team yesterday in the meeting room.
That's what you call shots fired. He said, I won't leave you. I love this place. I love you guys. I want to be here. I'll never leave you. Oh, Maz, we know who the hell he was talking about.
Oh, that was an easy crowd, by the way. A lot better response to Tommy Rees than Brian Kelly when he walked out after 4 minutes and you could hear a pin drop.
It is
Yeah,
worth pointing out, too, that not one assistant coach is leaving Notre Dame to go with Brian Kelly. I actually have totally changed my position on Brian Kelly's success at LSU.
He's an idiot.
I think he's toasted LSU.
No, he's
actually.
not.
I think he's toasted LSU. Actually, let's put it like this. And I've said a lot of things that have eventually come true, by the way.
You've been on fire this season.
And I think this will eventually come true as well.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly is not winning a national championship like the three previous head coaches at LSU. He will not win a national championship during his tenure at LSU.
I'll disagree with you, but that's okay.
I will respect.
No way to prove it now.
I will
Exactly.
respectfully, as your brother, disagree with you as well. But just going back to Reese, as well as all the assistant coordinators, all the coaches, everybody's staying. They're definitely going to get some pay raises. Schwarber's going to make sure they get pay raises. But in terms of hiring Marcus Freeman, he actually has a track record. You look, he's only 35. He's out of Ohio State. You look at where he's been. He's been in Cincinnati. He's been at Purdue. He's been at Ohio State. He's been a couple places. So he has been some places. But I think it's the right hire for them right now. I think when you look at Notre Dame, especially on the heels of when Brian Kelly left them, you talk about loyalty. You're talking about just get backstabbing or turning your back on an institution. Like, these kids need a sense of security. And I know people are looking at it like, oh, well, kids don't matter. They're going to go out there and play football regardless. No, you want to have loyalty. You want to know that the guy that you call coach, the guy that you view as the head man, he's going to be there for a long time. So the fact that they hired from within, they hired someone the players were already familiar with, and they hurry up and hired Marcus Freeman, I think that was a good hire, and I think it was the right move to do for this Notre Dame team moving forward. Even they may get in the playoff this year, but moving forward into 2022.
Very good. We can continue to talk about this. Jim Brandstatter going to join us in about 10, 12 minutes. Next, though, we are going to be joined by former Michigan Wolverine Michigan quarterback Devin Gardner, number
DG.
98, going to join us. He's in the house. We'll talk Michigan. We'll talk college football with Devin Gardner. We'll do it next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It's that time of the year again. Time for our second annual Stuffer Studio with Woodward Sports. Last year, Metro Detroit came together to help make the largest single toy donation in Mott Children's Hospital history. This year, we make it even bigger. Stuffer Studio is happening December 13th through the 17th at the Woodward Sports Studios in Birmingham. The children in Mott Children's Hospital fight so hard all year. Now it's up to all of us to help bring a smile to their faces. So while you're out holiday shopping, make sure you pick up an extra toy or two and help us spread some love to Metro Detroit this season. We look forward to seeing you December 13th through the 17th as we stuff our studio with Woodward Sports and Myre.
Woodward Sports Network, let's go! Ho, 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 ho.
Want to start a job or a career in an industry that is always essential? You want to find out how? Visit northwesterntech.edu. The heating and cooling industry is always essential. That's why you want to visit northwesterntech.edu. Find out how you can make $77,000 out of the gate. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a career. That sounds like some good coins, some good change in your pocket. Visit northwesterntech.edu.
How much did you say you could make first job?
$77,000.
Get out of here.
You made what?
15.5.
Yeah, they got you beat by about 62,
man.
buddy.
I picked the wrong business.
Yeah, you did.
My
Then
goodness.
you did. You picked the right one now.
Right. Thankfully, it worked out. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards here. This is Ermanni and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network. We certainly thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Great numbers this week, and we hope to keep it going.
Yep.
With this guy, Devin Gardner's in the house. Are you
DJ.
kidding me? Look at this. Hey, bud.
Yes, I am here. I'm well. I just ate some great food.
I saw you over there eating, man. I was a little jealous.
I want to make sure it's not stuff all over my face. Because if it is, forgive me because it's outstanding.
This is a great place to work. I think for the first 2.5 months consistently,
Every day.
We ate every day at Birmingham roast.
Yeah, I had the salad and
Wait, you
Chipotle.
stopped?
Well,
I know it. I know you guys are real bougie. You're getting your views up, everything. I get it. You're eating out. You're doing all the. Okay,
had to get a little bit of a variety.
That's not me. I'll be eating every single day.
But you got to, you got to take your time with it though, because you eat it every day, it starts to taste the same. So you got to, pull back, and that way when you eat it,
they have options.
I think I've eaten everything on that menu as well. By the way,
exactly. Shoot, 5 days a week, 3 months, it adds up. It adds up. The redundancy.
Devin, talk to me about this Michigan team, man. So many people believed in this team. Just something was different about it. We felt, at least we did.
Yeah.
Where are you on this? What did you see on Saturday, and how do you project them moving forward?
Well, as you know, I'm an analyst, right? And so when a good analyst first gets things, right? He doesn't wait to see it happen and then, they shouldn't have done that, or that was a good call. Well, yeah, we saw it was a good call. It worked, right? And so I first guessed this. I made a bold prediction. I think it was October 25th. I actually just posted on my Twitter. We do a game with the show I do, and it's called Bold Predictions. I predicted not only will they beat Ohio State. These are my exact words. Not only will they beat Ohio State, I'm not even going to say that. That's not a bold prediction because that's a given. They're going to beat Ohio State, and then they're going to win the Big Ten championship and win their go the first time to the playoffs. So that's something that I said a while ago, and now it's coming to fruition. Obviously, one more game to go with Iowa. Who's a tough team. I have them this year against Illinois, and even though Illinois is an improved team, Iowa kind of handled that game pretty good, and they're well coached. Coach Ferentz is one of the best coaches in the Big Ten. That's why he's been there forever. This is one of the years where they got a lot of older guys where they on defense, but on offense, their offensive line is relatively young, so it's taking them a while to get going. But they've gotten going now. They're running the game going. But that Michigan team's good, man. They can do anything that you want on the field. Now, obviously, we would love the quarterback to be able to take more shots downfield, but that's just not who they are, right? They built an identity around running the football and knowing they're going to run the football and still running the football down your throat. Ask Ohio State about that. They know just a little bit about it. So I'm excited about them. I'm excited about all the different tight ends and the running backs that have emerged and on defense, right? So you play Ohio State and they got all those talented receivers, and I mean I haven't seen a group. I don't know about you, brother. I haven't seen a group that deep and that talented, and they are who we thought they were. Like some of the catches that they made in the game, it's like, wait a minute. How? Why? And I'm getting ready to do my game, right? And I'm watching, obviously I have it on the side. There's no way I'm calling the game and the game going and I'm not going to have my game, right?
Gotta have it.
the game's on, and I'm trying to get ready for my game, but I can't really. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Absolutely.
And I'm looking like, how? How are you doing that? How are you making these catches, right? So they did what they should have done, but Michigan, even with that, was able to do so much good and obviously dominate the game. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Wolverine. And all the credit goes to those kids in the arena, man. They did what they were supposed to do, and they continue to do it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. And we actually talked about that. I haven't seen a group like this in the Big Ten probably since Jason, Steve, myself, and I think they were better than we were. I think that they're all complete receivers. They're all first-round draft picks. But I want you to talk about Cade McNamara, because throughout the whole season, people have discredited Cade McNamara. They've called for J.J. McCarthy. They've wanted him to be the guy. They wanted to sit Cade McNamara on the bench. Lackluster. Don't like him. He's boring. He
I was one of those guys at the start of the year.
Can't get the ball down the field. He had to put up with that all season long, but he still was able to manage the game. He still was able to win. He still was able to make the plays. Talk about Cade McNamara.
I mean, I'm not big into patting people on the back for doing what they're supposed to do, but he's done a good job. But when you sign to play quarterback at Michigan, that's what it's going to come with. It doesn't matter how good you play, and he wasn't playing great, right? Like, I break down the film every single week, and he wasn't playing great. He was missing a lot of reads. He was missing a lot of throws. There were throws that he just couldn't get to because of his limitations. And those are all facts. Those aren't things that were made up, right?
Right. Yeah,
and
100%.
so he had to deal with that, though. And I applaud him a great deal. I think the infusion of J.J. McCarthy ramped his game up.
Yeah.
Because J.J.
Great
McCarthy.
point.
Nobody wants to get benched.
I don't know about seeing a guy who comes off cold every single time and makes great plays.
Yeah.
Right? You come in and, like, I remember I used to come in deuce package with Denard,
Exactly.
But I got Denard in the game, so people worry about him, and I kind of get off, do some things.
Yeah.
He's coming in, the other quarterback's going out, and he's making plays. Like, think about the Ohio State game, for example. He comes in, they do the little fake outside zone where he puts the ball in his arm, and he comes out of it in the snow and throws a 31-yard dime.
Dude.
And it was amazing. And people don't realize they weren't in cover two. They were in one high, but because he ran, the corner came up, and then he had to hurry up and try to retreat, and the safety had gotten over the top. That was a whole shot that was created, and he still got it in there.
Might have been the best throw all season.
Unbelievable.
100%.
Right? And so
100%.
when a kid like that can do things like that, and you have to get him in the game. And I think that he's really given our offense another dimension. But Cade McNamara is still very, very good at what he's doing, right, in that running game.
So let me ask you this. Let me run this back by you based off what you said. So next season, both these guys have eligibility. JJ has 3, K has 2. Next season, is there a quarterback controversy? Are they playing for the start next season? Or is Cade going to be the ultimate starter because of what he's done this season? You tell me.
There has to be a competition.
Yeah.
There's no way you can go into the next season after watching what JJ was able to do, watching his talent, watch him. And he had the one two mistakes. One that we didn't pay for, and then another big mistake. But that second mistake wasn't him. It was a run play called, and he never tried to keep the ball,
exactly.
right? And so, no matter what happened, it wasn't on him, you know what I mean? And so when you go into next year, I just want to take you back to Clemson, right? Clemson, I forgot what year it was. They had Bryant as the quarterback, and they went to the college football playoff.
2018.
Right? Yep. And then the next year, they bring in Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
After the college football playoff, right? And so
2 games got him out of there.
The goal, right, for the University of Michigan and all the fans is to have the best possible player to make sure that your program can be the best. That's it, period. And so I think that you don't give it to JJ without question. That's not an option. But there has to be a competition throughout the year, just like Clemson did, and they were much, much better for it. And I was against it back then. I was like, how could you do that?
It's like disloyal. It's like disloyal, right?
And it's just like, wait a minute though. Right? They're so much more explosive. Yeah. They have so much more variety. And now they're going to win the national championship, right? And so I think that,
and if you're Cade McNamara, you got to understand.
You got to invite it, too.
You got to understand that. You came to school to be the best. You wanted to be the starter, Ryan. You wanted to come here. You wanted to start at Michigan. That means you have to be the best to start. So if you're not the best, if you get beat out by somebody that's better than you, then you got to sit back and you got to accept it.
Yeah, it's
there
tough.
is the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's very tough, and but that's what sport is, right? And it seems like we kind of get lost and we lose that of like, man, things are owed to people and what you did. I guess some of what you've done matters, right? And I don't know if you guys know, I'm big on the what did
Harbaugh say? Meritocracy.
Yeah, like the Matthew Stafford thing. It's like, we owe him this, and what have you done for me lately, man? What have you done? What have you done? You haven't been able to be successful, and now you're the same quarterback the Rams had a year ago, even though he's in Detroit now. You have the same record. You're 7-91 versus teams with a winning record. You came into a situation similar to every other first overall pick, and you weren't able to produce. Nothing against you. Very talented. But we cannot continue to owe people things, and that goes across all of sport, not just in Detroit or at the University of Michigan or Michigan State or wherever. You can't continue to owe people things. It's just unfair because you got young people coming up, right? They're coming up with great enthusiasm and they're talented. They work on their games, and you owe this other guy something, and now the team suffers. You know?
Devin Gardner, everybody. My goodness, so great to have you, my man. We are really excited. We've got Saturday and then hopefully a sure path to the college football playoff where, if you ask me, I seriously believe Michigan has got to be the favorite to win this thing.
Yeah.
See, everybody's talking about Georgia. Georgia hadn't played a team that has fewer than 4 losses all year. Let's see what they do against Alabama. Let's just see. That's just me, though. Devin, we love you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Appreciate you.
Jim Brandstatter going to join us next. Brandy next. You got a shout out for Brandy real quick, Devin? Say hey to Brandy.
Yeah, Jim Brand, that's my guy, man. He's the biggest man and has a huge voice. It's like, who is this giant?
Gotta love him,
He's
man.
good at what he does.
We love him. Brandy, going to join us next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Dev, thanks. Sorry.
Man, we were just talking about how good Dev was, so you guys called us. We apologize.
Right. But that's great, man. You know, it's just so much fun to talk about Michigan football like this.
Especially with Michigan guys, too.
Yeah,
man.
so it's just so great to talk Michigan football, and I really believe Michigan has just as good a shot as anybody to win the national championship this year. But before we look forward, let's take a look back. Jim Brandstatter, the final call at Michigan Stadium. What a good one it was. Michigan beats Ohio State, one of the most iconic scenes ever at Michigan Stadium.
The Wolverines are going to win this one. 42-27 is the score, and the Wolverines are going to go to Indianapolis with a chance to win a Big Ten title. Dan, as happy as I am for me, I was happy for you because this is your first time as a broadcaster to see the victory over Ohio State as a Michigan alum as a broadcaster. Congratulations. They go victory formation, McNamara to a knee. Ohio State has one timeout left. They're not going to use it. 48 seconds to go, and it's going to end right here. 42-27. Michigan will defeat Ohio State and head to Indianapolis for a Big Ten title.
And there you go, Jim Brandstatter, the voice of Michigan football. Can't wait to bring him in. Let's bring him in right now. Brandy, welcome to Woodward Sports, my friend. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. That was exciting, living that moment again. I'm telling you, that was as good as it gets. Braylon knows.
Brandy, what's going on, big guy?
Hey, what's up, Braylon? You all right?
Talking about knowing somebody my whole life. I've known Brandy. I'm 38, and he's known me all 38 years. Running around the sideline while Harbaugh was there.
That's it. You're just a little kid hanging out at Reggie McKenzie's camp.
Oh, man, Highland Park.
And we were watching him. He went, what were you, about 5'2"?
I was short. I was a little guy. I entered high school at 5'6".
Yeah. He was not a big hit, but boy, you could tell he had that burn. He had that desire. He's a beauty. And so are you, Ryan, and Tommy Mazawey. I've known Mazawey about as long as I've known you, Brandon.
That's it, baby. Welcome in, Jim. Thank you.
Great. Hey, Jim, let me ask you. 12 months ago, when Michigan's season was cut short with COVID, and Ohio State was talking about hanging 100 on Michigan, and Michigan fans were saying, thank God we didn't have to play Ohio State this year because they would have killed us, and maybe we should move on from Jim Harbaugh. How in the world do you give Jim Harbaugh another look, another year 7? What happened in those 12 months to get to that scene on Saturday?
Well, first of all, not every Michigan fan is standing out there, oh my God, it was great we didn't play them. If you're a Michigan man, if you are anything part of the Maize and Blue, you want to compete, and you want to compete with Ohio State. I wanted to play them. I don't care what their record was. To not play a Michigan-Ohio State game, you got to have medication for your brain if that's the way you think. What happened in the intervening months? I think Jim Harbaugh reinvented himself a little bit. I think he did a great job, and he went out and got young assistants. I think Mike Hart, Ron Bellamy were great ads, along with Mike McDonald and the defensive staff. He went out and he found some advice from his brother, got a guy from the NFL who still had a collegiate kind of feel to himself, the ability to recruit, and that excitement, that intensity, that energy to kind of convey that to his players, and they all bought in. And Jim bought in. And these young coaches created, in my opinion, an energy on that team. They're already talented. They've got good players. A lot of the guys that are on this team are the same guys that played a year ago. There were a few guys that left, and it's probably addition by subtraction in that regard. But where it came from, why they are where they are right now, between the years.
Talking to Jim Brandstatter, the voice of the Michigan Wolverines. Jim, you literally know more about Michigan football than anybody living. I can literally talk to you forever. I can ask you 1,000 questions about Michigan this season. I want to get to the big uglies. I want to get to the big guys up front. Talk to me about the dominance of the offensive line of Michigan that they played all year, especially last Saturday.
I can't tell you how excited and how proud Dan Deerdorf and I were. Both of us, former offensive linemen at Michigan. And what's Michigan football all about? Braylon, since you were born, even though you were a receiver. Exactly. It's about running the ball and stopping the run. I mean, that's how you win football games. That's how you win championships. And this offensive line imposed its will on Ohio State. It said, you don't belong here with us. We played like bullies. Now, that isn't a bad thing, okay? And I love that. And it starts up front. It starts with Vastardis, a sixth-year center, three-time captain. The two tackles, Hayes and Stuber. Stuber coming off a year where he couldn't play because he tore his ACL. These guys dominated the line of scrimmage. Then on the other side of the ball, don't forget Mazzy Smith and Chris Hinton.
Great name, Mazzy.
They did up front, along with Hutchinson and Ojaba. I mean, they controlled the line of scrimmage. And when you do that, your chances of winning go up 60, 70%. And in my opinion, as an offensive lineman, to see us pound the ball with Hassan Haskins, and that last touchdown was basically uncontested. Yeah. That's when you knew Ohio State basically gave up. They gave that one away. And they didn't want to fight anymore. We took the fight out of them. And Braylon, you've been there. Does it feel any better than when the other guys just decide, hey, we don't want to do this anymore? Does it feel any better than that?
Hell no. When you can look in the eyes of the man across from you and know that he has completely said Roberto Duran style, no mas. It's nothing better than that. And people talk like, because people looked at the stats of C.J. Stroud. He almost had 400 yards passing. There were some great catches. The wide receivers still did their thing. Travion Henderson had some stats. But what they didn't pay attention to is the defensive line of Ohio State. They wanted no smoke from the offensive line of Michigan. They were falling backwards on every play. And the defensive line of Michigan, those offensive linemen, they weren't jumping off sides because it was that loud at Michigan. They were jumping off sides because they knew Aiden Ojabo when that D-line was coming. That's why there were 5-ball starts.
That's exactly right. And they knew that they had a tiger by the tail. And that Michigan offensive and defensive line dominated the line of scrimmage. You win games when you dominate up front.
Jim Brandstatter joins us, longtime Michigan Wolverines voice, color man before that, Lions color guy, the best in the biz. We love Jimmy. I don't know what the hell you're going to do now, man. I mean, now You're just gonna be Robbie's errand boy now. What's gonna happen to you?
There are worse jobs.
She's got plenty of things for me. I've actually, Braylon is going to be part of one of my projects. Back in the day when I wrote the 2 books, Tales from Michigan Stadium, I talked to great players who had great moments in Michigan Stadium. And to get the quotes right, I actually interviewed them. Well, I found all of that audio tape. I'm going to make an audio book of all of those interviews that I did. Like I did Braylon on what was it like in the huddle in that great Michigan State comeback when Chad Henne just said, Braylon, go out and make some plays. And they brought us back, and Michigan won that game in overtime. One of the really, truly great games in Michigan football history. And I got Braylon talking about it. How would you like to hear Braylon, actually in his own voice, talk about those moments? Or how about hearing from the guy who scored the first touchdown in the history of Michigan Stadium back in 1927?
Wow.
I've got him on tape
Holy
talking.
Jesus.
Yeah, about that moment, running down the field with Benny Oosterbaum. I got the interview when the guy was Kip Taylor. He was 92 years old when I did the interview back in early 2000. And I put it in the book, but I found that interview, and I think it's kind of historically wonderful stuff. So that's one of the little projects I have.
Are you going to put in the book the time I had to drive you guys home from Spartan Stadium? The clock came, and you guys would not let me put the radio on. You would not let me roll the window down. You guys just told me to shut my mouth. You, Beckman, and Courtney. Are you going to put that in the book?
Well, Beckman said it was criminal.
That's right. That's right.
I was in that game. It was nuts. I was in that game.
You were on the sideline. You should have been in that game.
I should have been in the game.
Smoker made a mistake. He should have never scrambled out of there. Just the fact that he scrambled out of there with no timeouts, he should have thrown it away. Then all is well. But what does he do? Scramble, gets tackled. The clock runs, and then they stop the clock with 1 second left. Yeah. That's a game that should be in Braylon's column as a win. And Michigan State.
Hey, I'll never forget your words. Remember these words?
More mad.
Hey, good. Somebody get hey good.
I've never seen Lloyd more mad.
Nobody covered him.
I've never seen Lloyd more mad.
I agree with that. Lloyd
didn't even have the words in the locker room. Like, you know how you break down, even after a loss, you break down, coach gives some words, he talks about what happened, blah, 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 let's get on the bus. Lloyd didn't have the words to say. He just broke it down, and everybody was quiet, and we got on the bus. Nobody said a peep.
There are 2 games like that, and they're both Michigan State games. I'll never forget. Lloyd, it's like, this couldn't happen. This can't happen. Lloyd was just totally, it was like unbelievable. And he couldn't kind of process it. The other one was when Gary Moeller saw Desmond get tackled in the end zone by Eddie Jones against Michigan State on the 2-point conversion. And Gary Moeller's going, well, you can't not call that. It was like, that can't happen. And both of those plays against Michigan State.
Hey, Brandy, I got to take a 30-second break. Do you got a couple more minutes for us?
Sure, Ryan.
Thanks, Brandy. 30 seconds. Ermanni and Edwards.
Don't look too excited.
Don't be so excited, Brandy.
More with Brandy, Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Right back here, Jim Brandstatter, voice of Michigan football, joining us on Woodward Sports Network. Brandy, I wanted to get to this game against Iowa, and then just looking forward to generically, just you play the game, right? I mean, right. I don't want to look past Iowa. I certainly don't want to look past Iowa. So I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. But
right. But you're gonna start talking old school with me here, Ryan. Okay. Here's the deal. I've been listening to you guys talking about what's happening next year at the quarterback position, talking about all this other stuff. Well, let's get Iowa first. Let's take care of business first. Then let's worry about whether Georgia plays whoever.
Right.
You know, right now we got to beat Iowa, and that's maybe I'm channeling Schembecker here, but the fact remains, you've got to win that game. For Braylon, he's been there. You look too far ahead, guess what? You stub your toe, and you can't get that back. You can never get that back.
And that's exactly kind of where I'm going to go with it, Brandy. Last week was one of the greatest wins in the history of Michigan football. It just was. How do you, at that point, and I don't want to compare it to the 1980 Olympic hockey team when they played Russia in the semis, but it almost feels like that. You know, Team US, that was not the gold medal game.
Yeah.
Michigan, how do they kind of hone it back here to win one more game?
It's all in the mind, and it's all how you perceive what's going on. What are your goals? If your goals is to win a national championship, beating Ohio State's okay. But you've got more ahead. And I thought Jim did a great job after the game. He came into the locker room and he said, "Man, you have just done something that was incredible. You've beaten Ohio State. You've won the Big Ten East. You have created a great joy amongst yourselves, all of the Michigan fans, all the former players." And they reveled in that. And then he quieted them all down, and they all kind of looked around and he goes, "But you know what else? I got a feeling this is just the beginning." And to me, that brought them all back. And you bring them all back to realize this was a great victory. Revel and be excited about it. But you know what? We got even bigger fish to fry here. And I think that was a great way of getting them off of Ohio State. Celebrated for 24 hours. But it's the beginning of a new quest. And I think these guys like playing with each other. And I think that's how you get them up. We'll find out Saturday night in Iowa, at Indianapolis against Iowa, whether that took, because they're going to have to play a very good Iowa football team to win the Big Ten championship.
Hey, Brandon, you talked about Coach Harbaugh, kind of like changing himself, like revamping himself, and talking to his brother, and kind of, changing things. And I think it was evident. I think we all saw. I think we saw him have fun. I think we saw him loosen up. But the biggest thing that I heard is the doors were open from the coaches. The players had more access to the coaches. Can you talk about that, especially the defensive players feeling as though they had more access to the coaches?
I couldn't agree more. And I don't know whether you remember, but after the game against Michigan State, when Michigan State caught the Michigan defense on the field a number of times and quick snapped them and got a couple of penalties, the Michigan defensive players, and I know Aiden was one of them, Aiden said, "We got to quit worrying about where we're lining up and line up and get ready to play, and quit looking at the sideline when the other guys are snapping the ball." That was a direct response to the openness, if you will, of the coaching staff. That you're right, you guys are right. We didn't do a great job of that. And if you'll notice, that got consistently better, because football's a copycat game. And everybody out there has seen that on tape. They're going to try to quick snap you. They're going to try to do what Michigan State did. And Michigan's defense did not get caught in that situation again all season. A couple of times maybe, but it improved markedly. And that's all because of players' input. And the other thing I think would happen, again, at Michigan State game, with the lead, they played a little conservatively. And I thought the offense went into Josh Gaddis and said, "Hey, when we've got a lead, let's keep a foot on the gas." And since that time, you saw it against Maryland. I think you saw it against Ohio State. Offensively, those players said, "Coach, we need to, we're not going to sit around and play clock games anymore. Let's score." I think he called a game that way. So I agree with Braylon. I think these players, and Jim, again, he's got to allow that. And these coaches have to be receptive to it. And the young staff like a Mike Hart and a Ron Bellamy and a Mike McDonald, they're all open, and they're all ready to say to their players, "You're smart enough. You let us know, and we'll find a way to get you in the best spot to excel."
Michigan Wolverines football voice Jim Brandstatter joins us. Jimmy, how about all this coach moving? Brian Kelly going over to LSU. Notre Dame maybe finding their head coach as one of their assistants. How about Lincoln Riley going out to the West Coast? We were talking, are the college coaching jobs better than the NFL coaching jobs now with all this NIL money?
Well, I don't know. It depends upon what you want to do. If you're a coach that wants to win a Super Bowl, you got to go to the NFL to do that. If you're a coach that wants to win a national championship, and clearly I think Brian Kelly is that guy, because he thinks he's got a better chance maybe to win a national championship at LSU than he does Notre Dame. I don't know. I think it's how you're made up. what you're like. Because remember, college football, you're dealing with an entirely different animal than 20 years ago. Recruiting is still a huge part of what you do. Plus, as we go forward, college football is changing. I mean, I don't know how much the conferences are going to be a factor anymore, because you see teams leaving the Big 12 going to the SEC. Is the Pac-12 going to pick off somebody here? Is the SEC going to get 2 or 3 more good teams? So I think college football in the face of it is changing as we go forward. So I think the coaching changes. Personally, I think it's okay. And it's just like the players. If the coaches have been able to do this for years and the players haven't, now with the transfer portal and everything else, the players have a similar opportunity than the coaches have. And I think that's only fair.
Jim, I got just one more on you on the Lions. I know you're a big Lion guy. We miss you on Sundays, by the way. But what's your take on this team? Much. What's your take on this team and Dan Campbell and just this? They're 0-10-1, and that doesn't seem that there's nothing in front of them. That the talent is what it is on the team. What's your take on the whole Lions as they sit now? And we've been through probably 20 coaches since you've left.
Braylon, I hear you laughing, man.
Yes, sir.
It's like a constant rebuild. I mean, I'll give you an example, and again, it's about personnel. And we were talking with a friend of mine who watches the Lions, and as we were getting ready to play Ohio State, I said the 3 receivers from Ohio State right now could probably start on the Detroit Lions offense.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just shows you that there's a problem in drafting and a problem in personnel acquisition from the Lions. I like Dan Campbell personally. I mean, I think he's a passionate guy. I think he's a player's coach. I think he loves the game. I think he loves coaching in Detroit. But in the NFL, it's about talent. It's about if you got the best talent in the world, you can compete. If you don't, you can't. And it just seems like, sadly, the Lions have been in this rut. They've been rebuilding for the last 25 years, and that's a shame. I mean, I just feel awful because I think it's a great franchise. The fans here are incredibly good. They put up with so much guff, and yet they still show up on Sundays. If there's a dying request that I might have someday, it's someday these Lions fans deserve a Super Bowl. They really do for all that they put up with. But I think it's about personnel, Tommy. I don't know. Braylon might have another factor, but if you don't have the players in the National Football League, you're not going to win very often.
You got to have the players, Brandy, man. I love the fact that, before it was all said and done for you, man, I got a chance to hear your voice call me when I was at University of Michigan. And then also, as a Detroit Lion analyst, you called me scoring touchdowns when I was with the New York Jets. I got a quick one for you, man. This is going back to Michigan before we let you go. And I know this is going to be...
You scored when you were preseason when the rookie with
you remember that. You remember that.
I sure do.
That was my...
I was up there watching that. I said, Braylon's going to make a play before this day is over. And
that was my first touchdown ever. That was my first touchdown ever. Oh, wow, you're taking me back now. Jim, I'm going to do something to you that's unfair. As a player or as an analyst, you got to give me your top 5 Michigan moments. I know it's tough. You got to give me your top 5 Michigan moments, player or analyst.
Top moment comes as a player, 1969 when we beat Ohio State 24-12.
Boom.
Watershed game in Michigan football history. Ohio State, best team in the history of college football, according to Sports Illustrated. That group of guys, Bo Schembechler's first year, won that game, and it kind of set up the 10-year war, and it set up Michigan for the next 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
So being a part of that was exceptional. Second most important game for me personally. As a senior, I go to East Lansing, my hometown, to play Michigan State, your hated arch rival.
Yep.
And with my mom and dad in the stands, my dad, of course, is a faculty member at Michigan State. My mother, God rest her soul, wearing maize and blue in the Michigan State alumni section. We beat them up there in East Lansing, and I had one of my better games as a player against Ron Curl, a great player from Michigan State. So that's one of the top 5. And then I think, yeah, it is. Those are special, special moments. I got to tell you, Desmond Howard and the Heisman pose.
Oh.
Woodson making the interception at Michigan State, which was otherworldly. as a broadcaster, when you took over the game against Michigan State, we were up in the booth, and we were just sitting there going, Braylon just said, "I'm sorry, but this is my game." and that was one of those moments where you literally, stepped up above everybody else and said, "I'm here." The other moment was the hit Adrian Taylor on their
Penn State.
Penn State, 1997. I'll never forget. He hit this tight end right in front of the Penn State bench, and the Penn State bench. Now, neither player played another down of football in their lives.
Nope.
But the Penn State bench, when they saw that hit, they backed up. They didn't want anything to do. And the fans behind their bench kind of went, uh-oh, these guys mean business. And then I think, too, the comeback when Denard brought us back against Notre Dame in those final 30 seconds. And then this past Saturday, the ability to stand there and say, Ohio State is vanquished. The long drought is over. Michigan 42, Ohio State 27. We're going to Indianapolis for a Big Ten title. I mean, those are the ones that I think come to me right
Where's
now.
AC?
Oh, AC's in.
There we go.
There's so many, Braylon. There's so many. You put him on the spot. There's so many.
I'm messing with
He did great, Jim.
Nah.
Indiana. He's great. I saw AC in he first touched the ball as a freshman against Northwestern, returns a punt, goes 79 for a score. People don't remember that, but I saw that one too.
I read a stat in ABC. That book they talk about all the great All-Americans, the great Heisman Trophy winners. It's like an ABC book. It's thick as I don't know what. And the stat said AC scored a touchdown every 3 touches while he was in college. That's insane. Unbelievable. Every 3 touches, the third touch was a touchdown. That's
like
insane.
Video game stuff.
That's insane.
That's video game stuff. He made a catch once. Braylon, you'll appreciate this. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking too much time.
No,
this is you.
We got all
this
day.
This is you, buddy.
We got all day. We're worried about your time.
I'm sitting with a scout, and we're watching tape on Anthony, right? And Anthony goes out, and he runs this route. Well, he's out at the sideline before the ball gets there. And he's kind of waiting around, right? So he's kind of looking in at the quarterback. While the ball is in the air, Braylon, he turns his body so he's facing downfield. Catches it over his shoulder so he can look at where the guy is, makes him miss and goes 60. Now,
unbelievable.
AC special.
While the ball was in the air. Now, you just don't do that. That's something special, and Anthony had that ability. And we watched it on tape, and this scout went, well, no, you can't coach that.
Yeah, Stan Edwards won't call his own son the best wide receiver ever in Michigan, and you know why. The AC.
Jim, we certainly appreciate your time, man. We didn't want to hijack any more time from you, but we can't thank you enough for doing this. Please enjoy your shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's. I hope you're getting one.
I'll see you. I'll see you Saturday, Jim.
All right, Braylon, you take care. Ryan,
bye, Jimmy.
See you. Tommy, be well.
Thanks, Jim.
Yell and scream. I'm excited to be here.
We love you.
Yeah,
love you, Brandon.
Love you, man.
Love you, Brandon.
Go Blue. Jim Brandstatter, the voice of Michigan football. Always has been, always will be. Thanks so much.
Buddy.
We certainly appreciate it. Guys, there is some breaking news in college football I would like to get to next. College football playoff expansion. Breaking news regarding that. And... man, chill out. We got lots of baseball to talk about as well. What is going on in Major League Baseball? My goodness. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Did you know mortgage rates are still at generational lows? If you haven't refinanced your home loan yet, there's still time. Now is your second chance to refinance. You could lower your monthly payment, eliminate credit card debt, or even take cash out by using your home's equity. Call Hall Financial now to get started with your free 5-minute mortgage review. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, MyBookie.com, our studio sponsor, and it's the place I put all my bets in. Can't wait to tonight. The Cowboys laying 6.5 tonight to the New Orleans Saints. Saints at home, and they've got their new quarterback. Taysom Hill's ready to go out there and show you why he's going to earn all that money, but don't put a bet in unless you use that promo code Woodward, because first-timers, you're going to double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Put 100 in, get 100 back. Put 1,000 in, get 1,000 back. And that's your money to do whatever you want with it. MyBookie.ag, mybookie.com. Of course, college football. You got all the championship games. They start on Friday night, go right through Saturday night. Sunday, full slate of NFL, including the Lions hosting the Vikings. Vikings, a 7-point favorite right at Ford Field. You can bet them all. And the CFL. That's right, the playoffs. Can't wait for those semifinals. You can ask Fish for his advice. Don't forget, the Beer Man coming up later. Make sure you listen in and make sure you go to mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime at MyBookie. If you have a problem gambling, please call the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline. 1-800-270-7117.
Guys, do want to get to the breaking news, and we got Man Chill Out too. We'll have a little show meeting right on the air here. Let's do this breaking news quickly.
Let's do it.
And then Man Chill Out top of the hour. How about that? Because there's a lot of baseball talk involved in there. The breaking news right now: the College Football Playoff Board is unable to decide on expansion.
I knew that was going to happen.
They will resume talks in January. So while it seems so simple, nothing is determined.
Yeah, that's fine. That's status quo usually. We weren't expecting anything, any big breaking news from them. Right. When the stage is yours, why not take it, guys, right? 4 teams don't work. Keep going. 8 is a minimum. 16, ideal.
Yeah, I just I don't know what the number is, but this feels like a year where if you throw up the college football playoff rankings, if you look 1 through 12, seemingly
they'll have good games.
Could beat anybody.
Yeah,
I mean there is. If you look at the playoff rankings right
BYU?
now, Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Baylor, Oregon, Michigan State, and BYU. I think any one of those teams, sans BYU, because I don't watch BYU every week. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some expert on BYU.
To your point, though, like you really actually can extend it to Iowa, Oklahoma, and Pitt. Maybe not Pitt.
I mean, maybe not. But I don't know. But what I'm saying is you're trying to tell me that any one of those teams couldn't beat somebody?
The top teams are going to have a bye on a larger playoff scale. I want to see the middle teams go at it and come out with the winners to face the top 4. That's what I want.
That's really what we want.
I want that. I want to see it. I want to see that. That's good college football. It's what we want every Saturday. We want good matchups.
Yeah,
give the little guys at least a chance. Give Cincy a chance to get in there.
Never been in favor of 12. I always thought 12 was too many. Mm-hmm. And if you look back at the college football playoffs, kind of how it shapes up in the past 8 years, 12 would have been too many. Mm-hmm. This is the first year, and you called it at the beginning of the year, Ryan, where everybody's beatable, everybody's vulnerable, everybody's in this thing. This is the first year where I'm looking at, like you said, 1 through 12, and I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't mind 12 teams. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Ole Miss. Ole Miss deserves a shot. Baylor could have a shot. Ohio State sitting at 7 could have a shot. You look at even Iowa falling down. So the way it has fallen this year, I could see 12 teams and I actually would enjoy it with maybe the top 2 having bye. So I would agree.
I mean, in years past, Bray, I mean, it's looking
been like 6.
You're looking at maybe even 2 or 3, really. Yeah. I mean, you look at the Alabama teams, you look at Ohio State and Clemson.
Everybody else is going for
even
Notre Dame,
Notre Dame at 4, Oklahoma at 4. Those teams are getting blown out when they face one of these top 3 teams. This is just one of those years where that's not the case.
Hey, Big Boomer put out something, and I like following them on college football on Twitter. And Alex, see if you can find the one, the College Football Bowl projections. This is their final bowl projections. Just take a peek at these guys and tell me what you think of some of these games. They take it all the way to number 1 versus number 2 in the college football championship. They got Georgia against Cincinnati, by the way, for the national championship game. But Alex will put those up here just a second. You guys can debate them, but there's some really good bowl matchups here. That I'd pay to see them.
Maz, Georgia and Cincinnati, though. I mean, you look at Luke Fickell, 21-1. A lot of people believed that he was going to be the front runner for the Notre Dame job, and he kind of talked about it yesterday. He's like, I didn't even know it was open until somebody told me about it. It's just not what I do. I really like his denial, and who knows? Maybe Luke Fickell is a guy who is very comfortable living in Cincinnati. It is kind of a mid-major market, it's like the 27th largest media market in the country. You can kind of live there nicely for a long time. You can dominate that conference for the next 10 years. Who knows? Maybe he does stay there. I don't know.
He's not staying.
Well, it just goes back to what Brandy said about
what do you want to do?
What do you, college or NFL? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
How do you want to go about living your life? You can live your whole life in Cincinnati as the coach of the University of Cincinnati Bearcats.
He's too good for that.
Do you want to go get fired from Notre Dame in 3 years?
This is true.
Seriously.
Well, Brian Kelly wasn't going to get fired. He just chose that he wanted to go to a bigger stage.
Yeah, but
more money.
He's 60 years old and he's made all his money. He's 60 and he's made all his money. He's the winningest coach in Notre Dame football history. So he's done everything. He's done every single thing that he could ever do at Notre Dame except win a national championship, and he knows that's nearly impossible to do it.
And then the other thing, too, is now that you talk about it, this has been your baby, this is what you've been talking about, is with alumnus, adding to the pot, sweetening the pot with the money. Cincinnati has an alumni base. I mean, it's not as strong as the bigger schools, but they got some billionaires. They got some guys that have money. So what if he stands to make $9 million at Cincinnati and do exactly what he's doing now? That's a good point. You can live down there. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself. Maybe he's not a guy that wants that pressure. Maybe he doesn't want the LSU or Notre Dame or Michigan or Ohio State pressure. He said, you know what? I'm legitimately in playoff contention right now at Cincinnati. What the hell do I need to go anywhere else for?
And he has had a taste of what that pressure feels like. Remember, he was the interim head coach at Ohio State University. Knows what that pressure feels like. We're going to do Man Chill Out next. We all have a message for baseball, and it's basically screw you.
Yep.
You're done. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang, I want to let you know about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Hey, you know who's there today getting a car, getting the deal done? Who's there, Maz?
Little Kennedy. Trading in her little jalopy and getting a nice little vehicle for herself.
Look at that. How about that? You got equity in your car, want to sell it back to Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac? Go ahead. Do it there. They'll put you in something that you feel real good about. Absolutely. On their pre-owned lot, any make, any model as well. And again, like Kennedy, sell your car back to them if you want. Maybe you think you can get by over the next couple of months with one car in the family. Maybe somebody's working from home and you could use those thousands of dollars in your pocket because there's more equity in your car right now than ever before. Les Stanford is your authorized lease return center. What is it, Alex? Authorized. Fish.
Good job, Alex.
Inventory. No chip shortage.
There you go. Doesn't matter whether you own it or lease it because they are your authorized lease return center. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. 313-565-6000. 313-565-6000.
Is that LesStanford.com?
LesStanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Find new roads. Where do you want, Fish? Find them? Find new roads?
Find new roads.
Get it, baby.
Stay out.
Stay out.
Ooh-wee. I just want to correct something we said earlier. Taysom Hill has 4 NFL starts. So I was wrong when I said this would be his first one. He has 4 NFL starts.
I remember using him because he was in fantasy football. He was a tight end / quarterback for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so you were able to put him at tight end and try to get some points. He didn't do very well.
First start was last year, week 11 in 2020 season.
Screw baseball. That's my message. But before we do that, I think we should do this. It is time now for a segment we like to call Man
Chill Out. I know what your Man Chill Out is.
Chill, buddy. Pack your bags. Get the hell off. Now, do you understand what you did?
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Derek Holland. If you're watching on YouTube, this is what Derek Holland looks like, Tigers pitcher. That is what he looks like on MLB.com. Major League Baseball took down all of the players.
Yeah.
Like they took their likeness, the way
their bios, everything.
Everything.
It's all gone.
Took them down. What a great business partner that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that a great business partner?
I think so.
Major League Baseball and the players, eventually you'd like to believe they're going to come together, right? You know, I took a marriage class a long time ago, and the one thing they said that I did remember out of it was, and it was only one thing that I remember.
One thing?
But it was this.
Did you keep looking at your watch?
Yep, and I tried,
She's always right.
And I tried to apply it to every aspect of my life. Be careful what you say, because words matter. And this is like the owners and the players. I mean, this is your business partner. You can't leave them up. You think they're going to look like that forever? Oh, what's going to happen when you do have a deal? Because eventually you'll get a deal. You're going to bring them back and be like, oh.
Well, the MLPA probably made them take them down.
Yeah.
Because they own the likenesses. So they're fighting. So, honey, sorry, I'm going to the basement to watch TV. You could have the living room. That's basically what this is.
Even so, if that's what they're doing, you know, I mean, these are the people that just spent over $200 billion on salary or something like that.
$200 billion as of right now until the work stoppage, and they're claiming that they can't afford to stay in business. These are the owners talking. Players are making $200 billion so far in the last, just free agent signing up till today, and the owners are saying we can't afford to stay in business. Why are you paying out $200 billion then already? You could plenty afford, because when I buy my Pepsi from Comerica Park, it costs me $8. $8 for a fountain soda that I had Alex get me from across the street for $1.
Wow.
That is an expensive drink that does not have alcohol in it. I will tell you that.
Isn't that something?
So to Major League Baseball and the Players Union, you know, I don't know if they can come back. I don't know if, you know, look, this lockout is fine now, but if this goes into the season, because it's like out of sight, out of mind, the season's not here, nothing's being affected right now, it's fine,
the
whatever.
hot stove is shut off, though.
But if this goes into the season, I will tell you, this is not 1994. This is not. We recently just had a little thing. It was called COVID-19, where we had lockdowns, we had no sports, we had no school, we had no restaurants, we had no interactions, we had no Christmas, we had no Thanksgiving. We didn't have a lot of things. We as a people got used to, and many of us still don't have work. We as a people got really used to doing away with things. And it is not like, okay, you come back and we'll come back. You make sure that people don't get used to not having you there.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, this is different from 94. I still think there are people that have not come back from 94's lockout when they canceled the World Series. But, man, you try that again, where you go into the season, there's a lot of people that will move on a lot quicker because of what we just came off of. You cannot help but move on quickly in the world we're living in today.
94 cost Montreal their team.
Yep.
Montreal
They
Expos.
would have won the World Series.
They would have probably been in the World Series.
Yeah.
And what happened? They disappeared. They no longer exist. Keep this up. You'll see Tampa Bay flow away. You're going to see a bunch of teams.
Aren't they the Diamondbacks now?
No. The Expos became the Marlins.
There you go. I know it was one
So
of those
I say to baseball and the baseball players, everybody involved there, man, chill out.
The Nationals, excuse me.
You're absolutely right. You know, you look back at 94, baseball struggled to come back after that. And luckily, they had the saving grace of Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire in the summer of 98, chasing Roger Maris. They had that. And even with that, once the steroid thing popped off, baseball lost again. It was short-lived in terms of people coming back to baseball, watching baseball in the fold. I was having a conversation with Rob Parker about 5 years ago.
Come on!
I was having a conversation with Rob Parker, and I said, you know what? Nobody watches baseball anymore. And, of course, he argued me, yelled at me, talked about it was at all time. I said, Rob, the best player in baseball is Mike Trout. I said, can we agree to that? He said, yeah, that's the best player in baseball. It's Mike Trout. I said, no one knows that unless you're a baseball fan. I said, Rob, who's the best basketball player? I said, Rob, who's the best football player? I said, hell, who's the best hockey player? Sid the Kid, Ovechkin. You know these things. Baseball has never come back. And just when it was starting to get good, this was a hell of a baseball playoffs, by the way. Maz and I damn near watched every game. Now all of a sudden you disappear again. Baseball, if you do it, it's going to be over. It's going to be over.
I'll stick with you guys. Put up that note that I had. This is my note from baseball. This is from Rod Manfred. That's all I've taken out of it. Look, see that blank note? It means nothing to me. Whatever the owners say, this guy, Rob Manfred, is
disaster.
All he is a lawyer, and he's running your entity. Wake up, folks. Wake up. People don't even like the game anymore. You don't have guys like me around anymore. I'm a dinosaur. You want the young kids? Keep starting the games at 8:30. They go to midnight. You're not going to have any fans. Now, take the games away completely. It's not going to look good, folks.
What type of dinosaur are you, by the way?
Can I piggyback off of what
I'm
you're
a
saying?
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Yeah.
Tim Kirkjian on Baseball Tonight last night said that, we love Kirkjian. He said, he's like, this is different. This is different. He's like, football has far surpassed baseball.
It's the national pastime.
Pastime. He said basketball has surpassed baseball, and in some areas, hockey has surpassed baseball. Baseball is not a national game anymore. It has become a regional sport, and you better be careful. This is not 1994. So I agree with you, Maz. I don't think that baseball fully understands what they're doing, and Rob Manfred certainly has no clue.
They look really, really bad right now, but like you said, I'll get nervous once the end of January comes, because come February
14th or whatever,
our
pitchers and
birthdays,
catchers.
Braylon and my birthday, just after yours. It's time to
18th,
go.
right?
It's time to go to spring training.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
You're the 21st.
My guy.
I'm the 18th.
Yeah.
But when it's time to go to spring training, pitchers and catchers, they better report. That's all I'm saying, baseball. Man, chill out.
Yesterday in hockey, that's why I'm sporting my NHL
Yeah,
jerseys
baby.
right now. My guy Dylan Larkin, shout out to Michigan Dylan Larkin, the Red Wings. Yesterday in hockey, there was an individual who took it upon himself to take a page out of Mike Tyson's playbook and bite a player in a fight.
What?
Go ahead and check this highlight out right here. You got Brendan Lemieux. And if you recognize that last name by any way, that's right. He is the son of Claude Lemieux. So you know what? The apple does not fall far from the tree.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Dirty players, father and son.
Put the sound
Look at
up.
this guy right here. He's biting. NHL players are supposed to be some of the toughest mofos on the block. Darren McCarthy is our guy. He's in studio every day with Big D energy. I would never, ever imagine in a million years D-Mac would bite anybody. You know what? Because he wouldn't. What type of punk move is this to bite another man?
How do you not?
Wrong.
What type of punk move is this to bite
Terrible.
another man?
So
Terrible.
This is Lemieux and Kachuk.
At what? Look, he's like the MF forbid me. At what age do you stop biting? And me, I never bit. Like I'm not a biter.
I was a biter.
Is it 5? Is it 5? Is it 6?
My brother's
is it
got
7?
teeth marks in his
Is it
eye.
4? Brendan Lemieux is, hold on, let me look at his age. He's 25 years old. 25 years old, and he's biting a grown man in a man's sport. This is a grown man's sport where you're supposed to be throwing down. You know what? Your last name's Lemieux, so you know what? This is who you are. This is what your dad was, so this is who you are. To Claude Lemieux and his son, Brendan Lemieux, I say to you guys, chill out. Chill out.
So Lemieux is a turtle. His son is a biting turtle. Aha, see?
Snapping
You've been working.
turtle.
Snapping
You've been
turtle.
working on
Good
that.
job, Alex. I heard you, Alex.
And Matt's been working on that for quite some time.
Damn it.
And still
Actually,
missed.
it came to me really quick, honestly.
He
to be honest
still
with you.
missed. Snapping
Oh,
turtles.
God.
Whatever.
Hey, guys, Thursday Night Football tonight. Troy Aikman has a message to the Los Angeles Rams
He
as
could
well.
have been my man. Chill out.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Chill out.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Oh, there it is. It is time to talk about the best vodka on the market. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, talking about Gypsy Vodka. I'm telling you, we made these grapefruit cocktails on Thanksgiving. They were amazing.
Oh, man, happy Thanksgiving to you.
I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you, by the way, as well, man. Gypsy Vodka, infused with artisanal spring water, corn distilled 6 times over. I hear you over there, Fish, with the gobble gobble. Appreciate that. Distilled 6 times over. 6 times over. Guess what? 6 times over, Alex. There you go.
What kind of water do they use?
Artisanal spring water. That's what it's infused with. 50 different formulas were created to figure out which one was going to be the best, which one they were going to present to you as the product known as Gypsy Vodka. I'm telling you, Adam and Mike got it right with this. And
where are they
also,
from?
Michigan State guys,
Michigan.
man.
Oh,
They're Sparties. They're
That's
Sparties.
all right. It's
Sparties
very good.
like the party, baby.
Very good.
Sparties like the party.
We know that
Also, it's
vodka.
gluten-free. So you're getting some healthy buzz about this, man. Like to play on words there. Check this out. Go into your neighborhood liquor store. Ask for Gypsy Vodka. And if they don't have it, tell them they need to get it. Because Braylon, Maz, and Brian said they need to have it.
I abide by it.
I'm trying to tell you. We're about to live by this stuff. Also, if you are going to drink, make sure you drink responsibly.
Fish swims in it.
Ooh-wee. DJ Tom T on the chat thread says, love the hockey talk, fellas. Nice.
Yeah. That Tom's who I go to get some of my quick takes for the show.
You know,
I'll hit up Tom and say, hey, Tom, what should I say
I wonder
today?
what Tom thinks. Does Tom like DJ Ski?
Yeah, he does. I don't know if he likes him in terms of his skill,
right?
In terms of his skill set, but in terms of what he does for the big house, how do you not?
So that was the first time I feel like I've been to a game where DJ Ski was live on the field.
How about DJ Paulie D?
Oh man,
Paulie D,
DJ Ski. I mean, I was like, I'm out there. I want to pump you up. Come on, pump it up.
You got your gross point on.
Oh man,
he did. He took it back to high school where he never came out the game.
Ever.
I'm trying to tell you, I am a fan. I am a firm believer that Ryan Ermanni, number 35, he never came out.
Retire the jersey.
Hey, petition. I'll be the first one to sign. Go ahead and sign right now.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, guys, so we talked about this a little bit. I wanted to get to it with you because I had mentioned, are the Rams in trouble?
I told you they were.
Like legitimate trouble. You know, Von Miller, Odell Beckham Jr., and I kind of compared them to the Los Angeles Lakers in 2004 when they signed Karl Malone and Gary Payton, and it was just like this super team that, you know, the Pistons were a team. And they just blew the doors off them. That's the 5-game sweep. But here's Troy Aikman, what he had to say about the super team. No? Oh, it's a text.
It's a text.
It's a text.
I looked and looked and looked, could not find the actual.
You know what?
sound.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read this for you,
please.
Ryan. Want me to take this for
Very
you?
good.
Yeah, I'll go ahead with the
Pretend you're Troy Aikman, all right?
Yeah.
We've talked about it, the All-Star team. No,
The terrible impersonation.
Hey, Joe.
I don't know how to imitate. I can imitate Buck, not Troy.
Hey, Buck.
We talked about it. The All-Star team.
Tony.
I've never seen it work in the NFL. Aikman said. Let's start there. We've talked about it. The All-Star team. I've never seen it work in the NFL. Said Troy Aikman. I don't even have to read the rest of that. Here's what bothers me about that. He's partially correct. He's partially right. This is coming from an individual who won his second, because he won 3 Super Bowls. Am I correct, man?
Yes.
He won his second 2 Super Bowls. You can take it down now, Alex. He won his second 2 Super Bowls with superstar players that came out of free agency. Ken Norton Jr. came from where?
San Francisco, right?
Deion Sanders, primetime, had his best stay in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys, coming off a Super Bowl win
From San
with
Fran.
the San Fran. Came to Dallas. Deion. You got Charles Haley. All these guys that came off of other teams free agent guys, superstars, all of them were Pro Bowlers. All of them were big names. All of them big salary guys. They helped you. Same thing you're saying. So be careful when you say things like, I've never seen it work, the teaming up. Be careful, Troy, because superstars legitimately out of free agency won you 2 additional Super Bowls. So be careful. But to his point, what did I say 4 weeks ago? I said Matt Stafford's going to be Matt Stafford. I know he's hurt.
They were 7-1.
They were 7-1 when I
they
said
got these
that.
guys.
I said that. I said, hey, Matt Stafford's going to be Matt Stafford at some point. I understand that he's a little banged up, a little nicked up. Since I made that comment, since signing Odell Beckham, since signing Von Miller, they've lost 4 games.
And that's really, the question, too. Is this Matt Stafford or is this super team? Right? I mean, because water usually, I don't want to say always, but most of the time,
it does,
finds its level.
It does.
And Matthew Stafford, again, 3 straight games where you throw a pick 6. Those affect every aspect of a game. Every single aspect of a ball game, it affects.
It's not all Matt Stafford. What's happening is the things that they were able to gloss over when everything was golden and everything was shining and the teams they were playing. Robert Woods is another big reason why Matt Stafford is struggling. Robert Woods was able to do a lot of things, man, on the inside of the field, the intermediate routes, and the sideline. He doesn't have that in Odell Beckham. They're trying to figure that out. But with that being said, you've talked about this all year, Maz. They don't have a running game. They don't have a running game. At some point, now it's November, now it's December. This is when you need the running game. They don't have one. Robert Woods gets hurt. We talk about the individuals that they lost on the defensive line. Like Aaron Donald is a one-man wrecking crew, but he can't do it all himself. Nobody else is getting to the quarterback. Nobody else is stopping the run. Teams are running the ball on them. Jalen Ramsey's only one player. He can't cover the whole field. He can't cover everybody. He can only cover 1/3 of the field. You're starting to see these things. They're coming to the light now. No running game. No Robert Woods. Not getting after the quarterback. Not stopping the run. Now that you don't have your guy, all this stuff is coming to the forefront, and it's coming out at a bad time for the Los Angeles Rams, Matt Stafford, and Sean McVay.
I watched the game again last night. I watched the Rams and Packers game last night. Again, I had it on my DVR. Stafford was way off. He wasn't even close to being himself. He was missing short passes. He was nervous in the pocket. He got banged up in the pocket as well, on top of everything. And then you see Odell Beckham get hurt. He gets hit in the back. He has to play, literally, he's grabbing his back the rest of the night. He's got the heating pad on the sidelines. Cam Akers, you did say might come back. I did hear Troy Aikman say, yeah, they might get him back before the end of the year. I told you that you were wrong, but I was wrong. So they might get Cam Akers. They might get Cam Akers back. I wanted to call you last night, but you were already sleeping. Anyway, Darrell Henderson's a good back, but he's not a back. You watch what the Packers did, and they give it to A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon.
Quadzilla.
He's like Earl Campbell.
Quadzilla.
They have Aaron Jones, and then you come back with A.J. Dillon.
It's a mean one,
I'm telling you right now, look, the Packers are going to win the NFC. They're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't have a problem with that prediction. I think it'll be a rematch between them as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. It just is going to be interesting to see who has home field advantage.
It'll be the Packers.
But if you pay attention early on in the year, and let's talk about some of their wins to get 7-1. Remember that Seattle game?
Oh, yeah.
First time they played Seattle. If Seattle was a good team, Seattle would have beat the Rams.
Yes.
Remember that first half? Matthew Stafford was off. Matthew Stafford.
That was the Thursday night game.
Exactly. Even in the third quarter, man, he was throwing the ball all over the place.
That's when Russ went down.
And that's when Russ went down. If Russ doesn't get hurt, they don't win that game.
Right. Probably right.
Think about the Lions game.
Yep.
Think about the Lions game. Lions throw an interception when they're going in to tie the game. This is the Detroit Lions. So it's not like this wasn't they showed flashes of how bad they were. They just were able to sneak away. They beat the Lions, who are not a good team. Russell Wilson gets hurt, so they were able to take advantage of that in the fourth quarter. Think about that. This has been on the precipice for a minute. Now you're starting to get exposed to the nation.
They put all their chips, I mean, every single chip is on the pass line. They got the dice, and they need 7s. They need 7s and 11s. They're not getting it. And like you said, they had 7 wins. They still have 7 wins. They might only win 2 more games.
Yep. 9 and 8 will get them in.
They might get in, but what are they going to do?
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Not much, but all you ask for is a chance. You know, I mean, once you get in, it does become about matchups. And we'll see who they match up with. Could they keep winning? Maybe. They're very talented. We'll see what happens. Guys, I do want to talk about a team that is not very talented. You'll hear from Dan Campbell. I feel like every time we mention the Lions, I start laughing.
It's a downer.
It's like a joke.
Have you noticed that we might have talked about them 3 minutes this whole week?
This whole week.
And we usually only talk about them. They've broken us.
The bulk of our fan base, man.
What did Bill Keenest say? What did Bill Keenest say last week about a fan base? I'll tell you. I'll reveal that to you next, and it's happening. I'm telling you, it's happening.
Trouble.
Uh-oh.
How many people are going to be at that game this Sunday?
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It's the Lions pregame show, covering everything you need to know for game day. Join pros and Joes as we cover our hometown Detroit Lions.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Choosing between a 15 or 30-year mortgage can be difficult, which is why we offer the Modern Mortgage, a flexible term that's customized for you. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for the Folding Warehouse. Yes, we're in the home of the champion folding team right here, Ermanni and Edwards. Yes, they brought home the trophy on Tuesday.
Yes, we did.
In the first annual in the first annual Woodward Sports.
In the words of
Folding
DJ Khaled,
Championship.
all we do is win.
All they do is win.
You
I don't know.
say Detroit Sports.
I did. I do that a lot. Anyway, I got to live with these guys now. They're the champs. Woods Folding, it's throwing football at bowling pins, and these guys were pretty good at it. I got to give them credit for that. The inventor of folding, of course, is Chris Hutt and his wife, Noni. Go see them. They're great hosts. They'll take great care of you, and it's a fun game. Bring your family and friends, team building event, whatever. $10 unlimited open play or private lane reservations. How about this? $120 for 10 people for 2 hours. They've got numerous open bars. Not open, you got to pay for them. 100 beers and $2 mystery beer machine. Just $2. What'd you get on for that $2 spin there, Bray?
Code 45.
Oh, Billy D. Billy D.
Williams.
Hey, you bring the food or have it delivered
Lando
in.
Calrissian.
We brought Happy's Pizza in. That was delicious. Come get your fold on. Check them out at thefoldingwarehouse.com.
Why does nobody in LSU seem happy to have Brian Kelly right now?
I am telling you guys,
Isn't
it ain't
it weird?
gonna work out. It's not gonna work out.
Like, no one seems happy about Brian
I'm
Kelly
sorry.
being at LSU.
I cannot prove
except
it right
him.
now. I cannot prove it right now. And I hate making statements where you're gonna not get any answers for a long, long time. But this is not going to work. He has no connection to the people. And you know what?
What about the people?
I think you need, in our business, in that business, you need to have a connection to the people.
Yeah.
And he's got none. He doesn't even have a connection to his coaches. Zero. Coaches.
Did he hire his coaches?
With him.
He's going to have to go out and recruit coaches.
Did he hire his coaches?
He offered every coach at Notre Dame, according to reports.
No, thank you.
A job at LSU.
Tommy Reese, you with me?
No, thank you.
And all of them said
Marcus
no.
Freeman. No, thank
all
you.
of them. That is an indication of a culture problem. That is an indication of a human connection problem. To where one guy, like, look, anybody that works at a job, if you have a great boss, if you have a boss who's a leader, if you have a coworker that goes on to do great things, that's a leader, you know what? A lot of times you follow that boss because there's that connection, that deep connection, that leadership. No one came.
No one went. Like, that's very interesting. Like, it's very interesting because I know how tight Lloyd Carr was, like, with his coaching staff when I was at Michigan. I always bring it back to Lloyd Carr because, hell, that was my coach in college. I know how tight he was with those guys. I know how much they meant to each other. Legitimately, like, if Lloyd would have made a move, they would have went with him. they would have gone with him, or at least a couple of them would have gone. Maybe some stay planted. Maybe you keep some stay. Nobody, not even a GA, not a graduate assistant with him. He legitimately left, and everybody stayed behind, and he walked that lonely walk to that G6 by himself. He got off that G6 by himself, and he is legitimately in front of this LSU team by himself.
And maybe that's the big middle finger, right? We saw the story about Matt LaFleur and Robert Salah.
They kind of backed off their story a little.
Did they?
Robert Salah said it kind of got overblown a little bit. But, yeah, he kind of still shoveled snow alongside
Did he
Matt
shovel
LaFleur.
the snow or did he not shovel the snow at the party?
Who knows? Who knows?
Did he park the cars or did he not park the cars?
I told you it sounded like
simple.
I told you it sounded like a movie.
You cannot be half pregnant. Let's talk about the Lions. They suck. And we don't even care about them anymore, really. I mean, we really don't.
It's a
I mean,
disgrace.
seriously, it is a disgrace.
So go ahead, fill us in on what Bill Keenest
said, because we talked about him.
Half pregnant to the Lions suck. That was a great transition.
Look, Bill Keenest, longtime employee of the Detroit Lions, public relations guy, media relations guy, said to
Former
us last
VP,
week.
correct?
Yeah, we talked about Lions fans and showing up with bags on their heads, and they preferred the Lions fans with bags on their heads because that just meant they cared. There's nothing worse for a professional sports organization than the A word. The A word is apathy. It's when nobody cares. Maz, how long have we spent this week on Lions talk?
3 minutes.
Because
4 now. We've had one minute.
One of the things we tried to decide, and sometimes we're right. I think a lot of the times we're right. A lot of the times we're wrong. Is we try to decide what are people talking about in terms of sports-related stories. That's what we talk about then.
What do people want to hear? What do people want to connect to?
What do people want to hear? What do people tune in for? What's burning? What's the burning sports topic with you? And to be honest with you, I don't know anybody talking about the Lions other than they suck. And it's like there's nothing to say about the Lions. I have nothing to say about the Lions. I don't care about the Lions.
But we do on Sunday.
Yeah, but I don't even care about them then. Like, if you win a game, great, I'll talk about you, maybe. But I'm so sick of, like, this just, we played real hard. And come on, man.
Listen, I got a picture of Dan Campbell before the season and after, and during now. Here, put it up there, Alex. Look it up. Look at the poor guy.
So you know what this phrase is that they have now? It's like when it first started versus how it's going now.
Yeah.
That's when it first started.
How it started?
That's how it's going now. When I first started doing radio and TV and journalism, I was running 105.1 over there in Oak Park.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that place.
Two pros and a Joe. It lasted all of a week before they went back to FM radio.
Right.
But the one thing we talked about,
the old Ryan and Rico show.
Yeah. I said, how do you talk about the Lions? This was a question I said, how do you talk about the Lions all the time? They suck. They stink. Like, how do you talk about it? They said, we know they suck. We know they stink. But the fans know they suck. They know they stink. But you have to come up with some content. You got to tell the fans why they suck, why they stink. You got to give the fans some hope. You got to tell them what they're potentially doing right, what they could potentially get better at. You have to bridge the gap for them because they know that. We've been trying for 10 and 1 weeks now to continue to provide you with, Dan Campbell's thinking this, and maybe we've been pointing out Aaron Glenn and how good the defense is doing. We've been trying not to say that they've been undermanned and the players aren't good. It's tough, it's hard because they stink. They stink, and I think the thing that is really taking us back is it's the situational football that just keeps getting bad. Same mistakes, the same problems, the same things. It's not getting better. It's not getting played. If they were just getting outplayed, if they were getting beat by teams, like I said, Cincinnati Joe Burrow, he's a young quarterback that's on the right track. Jamar Chase, Kirk Cousins, and the list goes on. If you're getting beat by guys like that, understand it. But 4th and 19 and you're in prevent, 2 weeks in a row, back-to-back timeouts. Like, what is this, Michigan against UNC all over again?
Hey, Dan Campbell's calling the plays now. We got something on that. Let's play that sound. And then we got Beerman coming on soon.
God.
Maybe he can help us.
Here's MCDC on him calling the plays and pulling the plug out from poor Anthony Lynn.
I'm doing what I feel is best for our team right now. This is not about me. It's not about my ego, about me trying to, I'm doing what I believe I need to do right now and what I feel is best for us.
He also went on to say that, I regret calling a draw play on 3rd and 32. 3rd and 32. And look, I'm a draw guy all the time. I love the draw play.
Right.
Maybe it's 3rd and 8, maybe a draw play. Not 3rd and 32. You got to at least throw it up there. If you could reach 30 yards and maybe get an interference
Can I tell
penalty.
you something?
Yeah.
I watch the NFL. I do it every week.
Me too.
Do
I
you
love
watch
it.
the NFL every week?
Come on.
Braylon, do you watch the NFL every week?
Yes.
You know what you do on 3rd and 32? You throw a pass, okay? You throw it far, but you throw it short, so the receiver has to come back to get it.
And you might get a penalty.
You know what they get? You know what you get? You get that yellow little flag.
There you go.
Throw it over here. That's how you convert on 3rd and 32. You don't get no flag on no stinking draw.
First of
no
all,
draw.
You
don't get no flag. You get
no-
it on the friggin' PI. 30% of the time you get it, at least. Don't make my blood pressure raise today. I'm having a nice day.
There's no play for 3rd and 32. I don't care what
Pass interference.
Pass interference is the way to go. I give you that. But there's no play for 3rd and 32. Your best option on 3rd and 32 is a screen. A screen is the best option you have on 3rd and 32.
You'll get half.
Exactly. You'll get half because they're willing to give you 15 yards. So now you move the ball forward and you help yourself with the field position when you punt, right? You take the screen, and hell, I've seen individuals take screens 30 yards sometime. Now, it's very rare, but you see it happen from time to time. I remember Marshawn did it when I was in Seattle. He had one for about 27. It was 3rd and 27. He ran a screen, and beast mode was beast mode. But you run a screen. You don't run a draw. You don't run. You just don't do it. And then you don't go to the press conference and say, oh, maybe I shouldn't have run a draw. You think.
That should have been my man, chill out. Hey, how about this? 3-0 on Thursday Night Football. Chris Beerman, going to join us next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It's the Lions pregame show, covering everything you need to know for game day. Join pros and Joes as we cover our hometown Detroit Lions. Woodward Sports. This part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hey, gang, I want to let you know about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Several locations throughout the Metro Detroit area. Girls are hot. You get a nice... clean, hot lather neck shave, a good haircut. Girls are hot, 10 to 8, 7 days a week. It's wicked awesome.
Girls are hot.
Awesome. How about that for a read?
Especially today.
Right? How about
They
that
like
for
doing
a
the fashion
What is
show or
happening
something,
today, by the way?
It's like a fashion show
I
or
noticed.
something. Like
my
photo
goodness,
shoot.
what's happening over there today?
They've been here since like 7 a.m.
Really?
Ooh, they have, yes.
Oh, that was an interesting little over there.
My goodness.
Okay, Fish.
He's been getting fish out there getting.
He's been getting some looks in.
I was just saying they've been there earlier than I've been here.
Then you said, ooh.
Keep that in your mental back pocket there. How about this? Chris Prince, he's 3-0. Part of our Woodward Bets team here at Beermakers Fan on Twitter. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I can't top that ooh-wee, but I'm doing pretty,
What's up,
pretty
Beer?
well, guys. How are you guys?
Oh, man.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We missed you last week, so hopefully you guys had a good holiday. And guys, before we get into things today, I hear that Braylon and Ryan, you guys are the champions of the foaling from the Christmas party. Well, me and Scotty G want to throw down the gauntlet here. So we are officially throwing down a challenge on that title. So we'll have to set the game up here. But we are coming for you guys. We want us
Scotty G.
match.
Scotty G threw an 801 series on Monday night in bowling.
801 is tough.
900 is perfect.
801 is
801.
tough.
3 games.
Series, yep.
Could have had 2 300 games in there.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 things. One, we accept all challenges.
We accept the challenge.
Yeah, if you're a fan of wrestling, We are wrestling champions. We will open our invitations to anybody. 2, I told you about Michigan State and Ohio State. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's all right.
Let's set it up.
We'll set it up. Hey, Chris, let's get to this Thursday night game. You're 3-0 since we started doing this Thursday hit. So we'll just come out of the gate, rip the Band-Aid off. Dallas seems to have, earlier in the morning it was a 4.5 point spread. Now it's up to 6.5. Kamara out, 2 offensive tackles out for the Saints. What are you doing here with this one?
Yeah, really tough to back the Saints in this spot. No Kamara, like you mentioned. The offensive line is in shambles. Taysom Hill under center. I think that will provide some energy to this Saints offense. You know, the quarterbacks they've rolled out there that aren't Taysom Hill, it's been a disaster here. So I do think he will help energize them. That being said, I think it's going to be tough for them to score points in this game. On the Dallas side, we know what they want to do. Jerry Jones comes out and says, we are not resting Zeke. We are giving this guy the ball a ton. I think you're going to see them run the ball a lot and run effectively, even against a tough defense. Zeke, Tony Pollard. So I think, Ryan, if I'm Sean Payton, I want to run the ball. I want to keep that offense on the sideline with Mark Ingram, with Taysom Hill. So I think you're going to see a lot of running, a lot of clock running. What does that lead us to? A Thursday night under. So rather than backing the Saints here or trying to take the Dallas Cowboys on the spread, I am going under a 46. I think this game's going to be kind of ugly. 2 pretty good defenses, both teams wanting to run the ball. Under. Try to extend our winning streak here on Thursday nights.
Hey, Chris, we got some interesting conference championship games coming up this Saturday. I want to know your take on that. What do you think the spreads are? Like, what would be a good bet for these people out there wanting to get their hands on some action? I like Alabama. So what do you tell me about that?
Braylon, I'm with you on Alabama.
Yes!
I just said that.
Yes!
I mean, listen, the public is all over Georgia in this game with good reason. Georgia's been dominant on both sides of the ball. No one has been on the same field with them. They're 10-2 against the spread this season. Everything is rosy for the Georgia Bulldogs. Alabama, meanwhile, we've seen some struggles. We've seen some games they have not looked great. They barely survived last week. You tell me why the spread has gone from 7 to 6.5 with all of the money, all of the bets coming in on Georgia. Alabama is at classic, let's fade the public spot here. I am with you. I think we're burying Alabama too quickly. I think they battle, potentially win this game. I will gladly take Alabama in the points here.
All right, Chris. All right, Michigan, Iowa. 11 points, I think it is right now. Big Ten championship on Saturday. Michigan's first shot at Indy. Who you like?
I'm going with Michigan here. I wonder how Iowa's going to come up with enough offense in this game. Both of these defenses can be elite. We know that. But Iowa's offense, to me, is the big question here. We know Michigan's going to score points. Can Iowa keep up? That's where I have some questions. This Michigan team is on a roll right now. I am not worried about a letdown after that big win against Ohio State. 10-2 against the number. Iowa has only covered 2 of their last 6 games, and in some of the big games, their offense has really been flat. 7 points against Purdue, 7 points against Wisconsin. They only muster 17 points against a terrible Northwestern team. I think Michigan, a team of destiny. I think they roll this Iowa team by 2 touchdowns plus. Maz, I'm taking Michigan minus the 11 here this week.
Thanks,
yes, sir. I like to hear it.
Talking to Chris Prince at Beer Makers Fan on Twitter, and of course part of our Woodward Bets. You can hear him nightly here on Woodward Sports Network. Who will Michigan play in the college football playoff? Will it be the Cincinnati Bearcats? If that is the case, they got to get through Houston this week. What do you like here, Houston-Cincy? I think that number's 10.5.
I think Cincinnati survives here. I do think we're going to have a competitive game. That being said, I prefer the total in this one. These are 2 teams that can really score the football. So Houston has scored 7 or more, 40 or more in 7 games this season. Cincinnati, similar type output. So I think the offenses are really going to be on display here. So I don't want to step into that spread. It's one that you would think Houston can cover this number pretty easily. I'd rather go an over here. I do think Cincinnati wins. But I'm going to go over the total on that one.
Hey, Chris, the last 2 championship games this weekend, Baylor, Oklahoma State, and then Oregon, Utah. I think that's a Friday night game, if I'm not mistaken.
So the Oklahoma State Baylor one, that one's interesting. I actually don't have a strong lean on that one. You know, we saw Oklahoma State win that game earlier this season, 24-14. They're playing well, riding high, beating Oklahoma. But that one just, everything feels about right, Maz. The spread's about where it should be, the total there. I think Oklahoma State wins, but no strong lean on that. As far as the Pac-12, I think Oregon bounces back here. Now, we saw Utah dominate them 38-7 earlier this season. I think you're going to see a ton of support on Utah. So rather than take the 2.5 points, I would rather roll Oregon in the money line. I think they win this game and beat Utah and take that Pac-12 championship.
Also, Chris, we've got the Big 12 championship, and Oklahoma State still has a shot, certainly, to get into the college football playoff. They're a 5-point favorite against the Baylor Bears. Baylor, a really good team. They knocked off Oklahoma earlier in the year, and this sets up to be a pretty good one as well for the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, like I said, I'm leaving that one alone. I think Oklahoma State wins. As far as a bet, though, I don't want to lay the points there. I don't trust Baylor enough to grab the points,
sorry. Sorry,
right.
Ben. Matt's asked you that. I said La La Land over there.
Hey, we'll talk about it again. So I do think Oklahoma State wins.
Charlie Brown's teacher.
Back. I didn't say anything. I was over like, what?
I put Ryan to sleep again. I've done it again.
G-A-S-S-E-D.
You know what Ryan usually asks you on the comeback question? All right, how about hey Beer? How about the NBA? What do you got in the NBA?
Yes, give me an NBA.
There you go.
NBA, I'm going Phoenix tonight, even without Devin Booker. You know, the Pistons, I think, are on the right track, no doubt. I love what they're doing for the future, but right now they're just devoid of offense. As good as Cade Cunningham has looked recently, even without Devin Booker, I think this Phoenix team will not play down to this team. They're playing at such an incredible level. I think Phoenix covers the 12 tonight, so I am backing the Suns against the Pistons.
Yeah, you know, and I actually don't have a question. I just actually wanted to comment on that. I actually 100% agree with you. You look, they beat Golden State without Devin Booker, and the way they're playing, you can tell that they really got experience, and CP3 has been a heaven sent to that Phoenix Suns organization. DeAndre Ayton really learned from his experience in the finals because he's playing like a man that wants that contract. He's playing a lot better, and his closeout defense, like he legitimately blocked some of Steph Curry's shots at the perimeter. That's not what a guy in his position as a center is supposed to be doing, and I think Mikal Bridges is the guy that is helping them so much. Mikal Bridges is the unsung hero for the Phoenix Suns right now.
Yeah, they're playing some good basketball, so I just don't see any way Detroit goes out there. You know, maybe the backdoor cover is their hope, but I think Phoenix rolls by 20-plus tonight.
You got a game of the week, a best bet in the NFL. Last thing, Beer. You like anything this week? I mean, it looks like the game of the week in the NFL is Buffalo and New England. Yeah. 3, 2.5 in some spots. What do you like in the NFL?
Well, I'm going to talk the local team first here. And, you know, we talk about the 10-1. The Lions haven't won a game. They are 7-4 against the spread this season. They've been very competitive in these games, including their last matchup in Minnesota was a 19-17 game. No Dalvin Cook in this matchup. I don't know that the Lions win this game, but I certainly think they can be competitive. I mean, look at that. So you got something going here. Your team's a top 5 in the league and something. So I do think they compete once again. They probably do what they normally do and let you down at the end. But grabbing those 7 points, again, this is a spread that's gone from 7.5 to 7 with 80% of the bets on Minnesota. That's always eye-opening. So I like the Lions. As far as a bet of the week, I'm rolling with the Chargers here. It's another game where you look at the spread. Why is Cincinnati only 3-point favorites? They just blew out Pittsburgh. The Chargers just struggled in a game at Denver. This number makes no sense to me. If you asked 100 people on the street, 95 of them are taking the Bengals. I'm fading the public here. I like the Chargers plus 3 points.
Hey, Chris, look at these over-unders, too. The Lions were an under pick as well. Put that stat up there, Alex. Check these things out. This is for the over-under, Alex. There they are. Read those, Rye.
The best over teams this season, Colts, Titans, Cowboys, Saints, Vikings, Rams, Bucks. Best under teams, the Lions 8-3 to the under.
Yeah.
When you play in a lot of ugly games, you're going to have a lot of unders. So that's certainly how it's played out here this season with the Lions.
All right, listen to him weeknights here on Woodward Sports, part of the Woodward Bets team. He and Scotty G. You can follow him on Twitter at BeerMakersFan, one of the best in the business. Certainly happy to have him here on Woodward Sports Network.
Chris.
Thanks, Beer.
Hey, Chris, you name the time, You name the place, and me and my man will gladly designate your butt.
I love it. We'll set it up for sure. Guys,
Let's
thank
get
you
it.
so much for having
Appreciate
me.
you, Chris.
Enjoy the games this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
See you, bud.
You bet. So Beer's 3-0 on Thursday Night Football tonight. He's got the under 46. That number dropped, too, from 47.5.
And the Cowboys are 8-3 against the spread. They're laying 6.5. I'd give.
Yeah.
I'd give till it hurts.
The bottom line videos of the day. We'll do it next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Big names, bigger opinions. It's the bottom line on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about the black and yellow, the Guardian Alarm. You throw that out in front of your house, and you know what that says to people out there? Stay out. What did he say?
Is that a bomb?
Get out.
Was that a bomb?
Get out of here. Stay out. Guardian Alarm gets it. A good defense on and off the field, help you feel secure. Guardian Alarm, state-of-the-art technology. It helps you feel safe. All with their 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also convenient features that let you check in on your home, control your lights and temperatures, detect smoke and carbon monoxide. Even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. You know what to do, gang. All you got to do is call this number. Give them a call. You got nothing to lose. Call them and see. Fish has the number, the phone in his hand. You ready? 1-800. Stay out. Get out. 1-800. Stay out. Stay out of here.
Find new roads.
Get out.
I would like you to stay out of my house.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
I switched it up on you.
Get out of here.
This has gone on a little too crazy.
And while you're at it, find new roads.
Oh, that's it.
There you
No
go.
chip shortage.
Wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome haircuts.
Cars are firing off like ants.
Gypsy vodka.
Drink some gypsy vodka
There
too
you
while
go.
you're at it.
Why don't you go get your degree in Northwestern Texas?
That's right.
I wonder how
77K.
Kennedy's doing at Les Stanford.
She's probably doing real
$75,000.
good. She probably walked away with thousands. I love it.
Maz, what you got
Maz,
for
bottom line
us?
videos of the day, bud.
Hey, I know Braylon's a big hockey guy, and
Yeah, man.
I know you guys like to drink a little beer. How about these Minnesota Wild fans? Check
man.
this
Oh,
beer
my God.
snake out.
Look at this.
What's going on?
How much money do you think is in that beer snake?
$8.
Look at this thing.
$8 a beer, and that's roughly about 10,000 cups.
Do you know how disgusting that thing must be?
Yeah.
How much COVID and germs in general is in that disgusting?
Well, they're not worried about that.
Oh, and see, the good thing about, or the bad thing about it is, to your point, this is the one video when it's on the floor. This is after they dropped it. I saw another video where they all
where they were all holding
it up. So you really were getting COVID with the holding it up
Look
thing.
at that.
It's ridiculous.
Who's gonna beat that?
Does
record?
anybody
Who's gonna
actually
try to
like
beat
do
that,
it?
though?
I don't know.
Do what?
Like the beer pong, like the beer.
Oh no, chug it.
Bong or whatever.
I think that's just cups.
Yeah, it's just cut.
I think those are just cups.
Yeah,
That's disgusting.
It is. It's gross.
That's pretty bad, man.
It's all for you, man.
Good
I figured
old
you'd like
Minnesota,
that.
baby.
Hey, let me take you back to 2012 on this day. It happened to be the Big Ten championship. I forgot Nebraska actually made a Big Ten championship.
Wow.
They played Wisconsin. And do you remember a guy by the name of Taylor Martinez?
Yeah, isn't he transferring right now?
No, this
That's
is
Adrian Martinez. But no, it's funny. Until man showed me this earlier, I thought this was the same guy for the last 9 years. I was like, what type of eligibility
How
does
many
this guy have?
Martinez brothers live in Nebraska? But check this play out.
Martinez in trouble. Reverses. Trying to break contain. Martinez up the sideline. Still running. Look at him. Taylor Martinez.
Yeah, he was fast as hell, man.
Oh my God.
He's limping.
Listen to Gus here.
Man, he jumped over the guy.
Gus been doing this for 10 years?
Longer than that.
More than that.
He did a couple of my Michigan games.
Wow. Really? God.
Do you want to know the final score of that game?
I know what it is, but I won't spoil it.
Wisconsin 70
yeah.
to 31.
Unbelievable.
70 to 31.
Hopefully they
beat Nebraska.
Hopefully you had the over.
Wow.
How do you get to a conference championship and get 70 hung on you?
Is
Like,
that
what does that
unbelievable?
say? What does that say about
I
the
gotta look
conference
this
that
up.
year?
It was pretty bad.
Jesus
Real
Christ!
bad. It was
What that,
pretty
Melvin?
bad.
That was
Melvin
Rich Rod,
Gordon,
right?
Huh?
That was a Rich Rod year, right? Or
No,
was
that was
Brady
that was
Hoke's first
Hoke.
year?
That was Hoke. Hoke's first year was 11, so that was Hoke's second.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's it. So hopefully this weekend's Big Ten championship, I doubt it'll be that high scoring, to be honest with you. I don't know if Iowa can score 10 points.
I don't know. Like
Depends.
I don't know. Michigan has hung 50 on a lot of people this year. I'm telling you. I predict that Michigan is going to put 60 on Iowa.
I hope they do.
I'm telling you, like,
You think Michigan's going to score 60 on Iowa?
you see what they did to Ohio State. Like, everything that they did, the way in which they play, all the stops that they pulled out, they're not going to stop now. Now that the cat's out the bag, see, they were hiding the cat. You talked about it yesterday. They were hiding the cat in the bag, and we gave them all that grief. And they said, you know what, just let people talk. We'll wait till Ohio State. Now that the cat's out the bag, what the hell are they stopping for now?
Did you know that the Big Ten East champion has won the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 championships?
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, Wisconsin is the last team to win, right?
Wisconsin in 2012 was the last Big Ten.
And how many in a row did Ohio State put on Michigan?
4.
8 as well.
Oh,
So I don't like that number. Don't bring that number up to me.
Well, no, but I mean Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, and then Ohio State has won the last 4.
So we'll find out this Saturday night. Here's one for you guys. Do you go to the chiropractor? I'm a big chiropractor fan.
Yeah, I like
Here you
the
go. Put it right here.
Yeah.
Slide it in.
Can you imagine being the chiropractor to work on Shaq Fu?
No.
Check this out.
Shaq and a fool.
Look at him. Oh, look at him. Look at Shaq. You have to pull him back on the table. Look, here's another one. Ready? Here comes this. Oh, oh, Shaq. Here it is. Oh, isn't that great?
It's a UFC tap.
Isn't that good?
Our favorite day of the week in the NFL was Friday. 1, because it's the most lax practice. 2, it's the shortest practice. 3, it's because our chiropractor always came in. Big Jim always would come in, man.
Big Jim.
As soon as you get off that table, you instantly are ready for Sunday. It's like whatever he did, like
It's amazing.
the week just wore on you. You're like, man, it's gonna be a rough game. As soon as you got off the table with Big Jim, you're like, so who we play this week? It's time to go.
Hey, they get a bad rap, chiropractors, a lot of times. People don't believe in them. They're great. Shout out to Dr. Frattini,
just
by the way.
can't
He's
go
not
every
listening,
day.
Absolutely.
but shout out to him anyway.
Shout
in
out to
St. Clair
Dr.
Shores.
Frattini.
And how about this, guys? Chiropractors probably have yachts as well, right?
Very much
Check
so.
this yacht out. They're trying to tow it. This is a disaster.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. No.
It's going.
Shoot.
There it goes. They just dropped that
Dang.
yacht off the tow truck.
Dang.
Where were they going?
They're going to need Les Stanford Chevrolet after that.
Would Les Stanford take that on a trade?
U-Haul.
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to figure out where the heck they're going.
Find new routes.
Find a new boat.
Man, exactly. You got to find a new boat after
Isn't that something?
I cannot believe
out.
that. Get out of the way. Stay out.
Stay
out. Get out.
That's
Oh
the
my
that's the
God.
SS
How
Guardian.
how do you pick that back up?
Crazy. Well, hey, we're going to be out at the Lodge, right? Is that
Yeah,
where we're going? We're
in
going to be out at
Kego
the
Harbor.
Lodge in Kego Harbor. It is the Killer Cares event. If there's anybody out there listening, we'll be there all night. Well, not really, but they will be there all night. I'll be
6
out
to
there
7
from
you,
6 to
7
7.
to 10 me and Maz. White Boy Rick, Tommy Hearns,
Drew Lane, Dan
Jennifer
Miller,
Hammond.
Jennifer Hammond, Woody Woodruff,
Trudy Wilson,
Amy Andrews. Got a big star-studded cast. We'll be out there at the
Killers
Lodge
Christmas.
in
Come on out.
Kego Harbor.
Come on out and see us. Matt Riley will be there partying.
Riley.
He'll buy you a
He'll
drink.
be doing beer.
Talk
he'll be
to
doing
Matt.
shots.
We gotta tell Stan that Stoney will be there.
Get us out of there.
Oh, Stan coming?
No, Dad's not coming.
Damn.
He doesn't go to bars. That's not his thing. We out here, man?
We out here. Get us out.
Check this out,
Get
man.
us out.
What we didn't say was yesterday is the first day of December, so it's Christmas time, man. So it's Christmas season, baby. The countdown to the 25th. Get you some Christmas movies in. My favorite movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Family Vacation.
Just watch it on Sunday, man.
Yo, I watched it already twice.
Hey.
Best movie going.
It is
Shout out
awesome.
to Lucas Raymond. November, he was the Rookie of the Month.
Where's
Shout out to the
Mo
Red
Sider?
Wings. With Moritz Sider. Team you don't want to play. Love the Red Wings. They're figuring it out. Got to trust the process.
My
with
boy
Stevie
Ned
Y.
in the net.
Man, they're doing good. Dylan Larkin, shout out to my boy. I got to get
Can
the
you
new
say his
jersey.
name, Maz?
Put the C on it. We're doing our thing. This is a great show. This has been a great week. I'm excited. Let's go out here and let's. Hey, what drinks are you making? What drinks you looking forward to
I'm looking
making?
for a gypsy vodka.
You're looking for a
tonight,
gypsy
baby.
vodka, Maz. What are you looking forward to making?
That's what I'm doing. Gypsy vodka, baby.
Same here. I'm gonna throw a little splash of grapefruit in it. I'm gonna see if the people in Kegel are
And I'm going to drive my beautiful left Stanford Chevrolet Traverse out there.
I'm going to drive my Les Stanford Equinox
Look at
out there.
that.
I'll check you guys out.
What do you? I mean, you're up next.
I'm driving my Les Stanford Equinox out.
He's about to go get an Escalade.
Oh man! Hey,
I want a vet.
I guess that's it. Baseball, get your stuff together. I'm Edwards. He's Ermanni. That's Maz. That's Fish. That's Alex. And this is the bottom line.
See you at the lodge.
We out of here.
The Wolverines are going to win this one. 42-27 is the score, and the Wolverines are going to go to Indianapolis with a chance to win a Big Ten title. Dan, as happy as I am for me, I was happy for you because this is your first time as a broadcaster to see the victory over Ohio State.